doing the setup right now. And I got a thumbs up. Hi, my name is Estee Taschereau. Try to spell it. And I'm also known as Estee in Spirit. That's my Facebook page, my Instagram, and it is on. Okay, we've got sound. All right. And I'm going to talk to you about a technique that I've learned, added to my collection of other techniques. I've been doing energy work for over 40 years. And before then, that was a really strong interest for me. There was something that was driving me in this direction, something that I needed to learn, something that I needed to grasp in my life. And I went through a lot of different trainings. And over the years, I started at the age of maybe about 23. I was an ordained minister. I began teaching healing classes, meditation, and doing clairvoyant readings for people, doing everything from past life regression to helping them to resolve issues that they were experiencing. And I did that work for quite a few years. But I drifted away from that, and I started adding different modalities. I became, as some people here will recognize, the idea of a Reiki master. And that's wonderful training, wonderful experience. I've added other modalities, and over the years, I've continued on. And I still have that feeling that there was something else that I wanted, something else that I needed. Feeling that those voices in the back of my head, and no, not those kinds of voices, but having that little voice in the back of my head that would talk to me at night when I was trying to go to sleep, and waking up in the middle of the night trying to solve a problem. And I knew there was something that I wanted. Well, a good friend of mine stepped up and helped me without knowing it. She said, I got a problem. I need your help. And it was the best thing that she could have done. I brought to her a training that I had just gone through. And I did a session for her at her home. Some people bring a bottle of wine. I bring a new technique. Yeah. But I'll tell you, the feeling that you have, it beats the wine anytime. Yeah. And I worked with her to do clearing around an issue that had been around for a long time. Now, she had gone through various years of counseling. In fact, she has a degree in psychology. She knows this stuff. She has an interest in it. And she has been digging. And I hadn't realized how deep that she had gone in trying to find those things that were going to help her. But yet, these things would just keep coming up, and she didn't know what to do with it. And she was desperate. And when I arrived at her house, she opened the door, and instead of getting that usual, hey, it's great to see you, welcome, big hug, she was right into it, right into the depth of it. She had been carrying that around for the day or 2 days or 3 days since we had made our plans, going deeper and deeper into those feelings that she had. And she needed a solution. So I sat her down and I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something called havening techniques. And I want you to focus on that problem that you have. We're going to go through some steps. I'm here for you. Is it okay if I touch you? Yes, it's okay. And I said, it's all good. I'm going to touch your shoulders and your arms. She doesn't like anybody touching her face. We didn't do that. Mainly just her shoulders and her arms. And I said, I'm going to walk you through a process here. And we worked on this for about 15, 20 minutes. And we moved into some hypnosis. And we did some visualization. And while I can't really share her story and really get that message across, it came down to a point where it's like all of a sudden she went, oh, that did it. And after we finished our session, she was standing in her kitchen. She wasn't even facing me. She wasn't even looking at me. She was looking off to the side, and she stood there and she said, I've carried this for over 70 years. And I finally feel free. I feel freedom. And I felt that tingling in my body, just hearing her say those words. I was mesmerized as she was continuing to release that emotional charge that she had been carrying through her entire life. Havening touch is a psychosomatic intervention. It is not therapy, it is an intervention. Now, there are many people that are licensed practitioners in psychology and such, nurses, a lot of people in the medical field that use havening touch. And it's a wonderful technique. And they use it on the job. They use it with their coaching or counseling clients. And there are a lot of people that do havening touch, such as me. I'm not a licensed psychologist. I'm not going to do therapy, but I will help you to make that change. I will be there for you and guide you and support you as you make those changes in your life and create that safe space for yourself. The response that she gave was heartwarming and an amazing recognition of how powerful that we are, how much we can change, but we have so many reasons not to. We have so many reasons. It's because I don't feel safe. And you know what? I think that's the case for a lot of people nowadays. They don't feel safe. They are overstimulated by the environment that we live in. And even if they had their act together, that environment in itself is overstimulating. But the thing is that we have all these triggers, all these things that have happened, and our brain constantly reminding us, look out for that. Watch out over there. That person doesn't look like it's somebody I want to talk to. All of these signals coming into us, and the more that we carry those things that happen to us, the more we're going to get those reminders, and you're going to have that overactive mind, that busy voice. And because of that, your nervous system is overstimulated. And where's your attention? It's out there, it's over there, it's watching over here, it's analyzing all these things that are happening around you to try to figure out what you need to do to be safe. And it eats up your energy. Anybody ever feel tired even though you haven't done a lot of really physical things? Yeah, a lot of hands raising there. Anybody ever have a problem with trying to make up your mind and make decisions? Mm-hmm. Anybody ever feel unsure about the next step to take? Yeah. All of these are because of that overstimulated nervous system. So I'm going to teach you, you know what? Tell you what, I could stand here and tell you all about havening touch and how wonderful it is. But what would you want? You want to hear the story about it, or do you want to learn how to do it? Learn. Yay! Let's do this. Now, I need to have both hands. So I'm going to put the microphone down here. Hopefully very gentle. All right. How was that? Not too bad. I'm close enough to the mic now. Hopefully it's picking this up. I'm going to show you havening touch. And I want you to think And let's just focus on today. Here we've heard a lot of stories. We've heard a lot about different techniques and issues that people have, and therapies and situations that they faced. And we're all here sitting and listening to these things, and you may have stories within yourself that relate. For example, listening to a talk on addiction and another story on addiction and traumas and such. It brought up memories for me. I sat there doing havening touch. Go ahead and do this right now. Now, here's the secret. Slow, gentle, like you're stroking the face of a child, or your cat, or your dog. That's a good boy. Good girl. It's okay. This is one of the ways that you can use havening touch. Now, touch has been around forever, as far as we're concerned, because it's one of the first sensations that, or feelings that you activate in your body. In fact, touch actually activates before you're born. And touch is a very important thing. We know this for a fact, that a child needs to be touched. They need to be nurtured or they will not survive. We know that this is an important thing. Go ahead and take a breath even. Yeah. Now, anywhere in your body is sensitive to touch. Even your hair is sensitive to touch. I read a study recently about that. I think it's just fascinating. Learning all these new things that neuroscience is bringing to us. Havening is based on neuroscience. Now, if I could rub right here on my arm, I could touch my ear, I could do the side of my leg, anywhere I could do havening touch. But your palms are 5 times more powerful. Now, if you want to go 30 times more powerful, put your hands up at your shoulders and do a soft, gentle touch, stroking down the arms. And just bring your attention for a moment to those things that you brought up in your mind today, whether you recognize it or not, they came up. You may have activated some things within you. Just do that gentle stroking touch. You can close your eyes even if you want to, just to be even more focused on that touch. And just spend a moment noticing how it feels. Warm, comforting. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. You're safe now. Sometimes when I'm going to sleep, I just say those words to myself, whispering in my ear, it's okay, I'm here for you. Everything's going to be okay. And notice how you feel. Notice, you may even notice the mood in the room has changed, hasn't it? Much calmer, much more relaxed. Now, you open your eyes to another place, your face. Now, this area is 90 times as powerful. This is where people stroke that baby across their cheeks, their forehead. When I learned havening touch, they called it washing your face. You can choose any of these techniques, whatever you're comfortable with. You can move around. You may do Havening Touch on your own. And I'll tell you something, you got everything you need right now to do Havening Touch. You can even just, I love to just focus on how it feels, but then you can do other things too. You can imagine being at your favorite place, whether no matter where that is. It may be in the kitchen if you love to cook. It may be on a beach. It may be in the forest with that quiet. It may be a place where you feel safe and comfortable. And just imagine being at that place. And there's a little machine there that puts out bubbles, a little bubble maker. And I want you to just count those bubbles. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing the touch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Poof, that bubble just burst. Oh, that was fun. That's called a distraction. Now we know what it's like to have a busy mind. And we know that our brain does everything it needs to do to keep you safe under any circumstance. And your brain will speak up and it will say, oh, don't do that. That's silly. You don't want to go there. Your brain will try to protect you, from your growth, from your healing, because it doesn't want you to be hurt. It doesn't want you to have to go through that same thing again. Your brain is a friend. It's there 24/7. Let's take a moment and just say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for taking care of me. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for being my friend. I don't know, there was a TV show with a theme song like that, wasn't there? Thank you for being my friend. Mm-hmm. You can even tell yourself a joke and laugh and bring some fun into it, because all of those things send a message to your body that you're safe. And that's the goal. That's the thing that we want. That's the important thing. That's the element that we're missing. And you're taking a moment by bringing focus to that thing that you want to change, whether it's something that just happened, maybe it's something that's happening now. Maybe you are in a situation and you need to calm yourself. Maybe it's something that happened 70 years ago or more. But you bring attention to it and you do the Havening Touch, that calm, gentle stroking. And that changes your brain frequencies. That stroking actually communicates delta waves. Delta waves is that frequency of brain frequency that children are at from the age of 0 to 2. They're pure delta waves. You're talking their language. Yeah, with that stroking and touching. Beautiful design, isn't it? And you can give that to you. And when you do that gentle stroking, a gentle touch, and you distract your busy mind, counting, humming, what's your favorite song? Any of those things that you do, distract your mind so that you get that result of calm, relaxed. And those things that you're holding on to change. What happens is that you're changing the frequency of your brain. That's the electronic part. You're changing as well the chemicals that are being released. You're not sending in the stress hormones like cortisol. Instead, you're sending in the feel goods like oxytocin. a little bit of dopamine. Yeah, that's a good mix. Oxytocin and dopamine. And what that tells your brain is, I can let this go. Hey, we're safe. Why am I holding on to this? Out with those feelings. And guess what? It's gone. That's it. It's gone. Now, you can choose to recreate and bring back certain feelings, but whatever it was that you just released is gone. The chemicals you don't put it back together. Your brain doesn't jump in there and say, I need to rebuild this puzzle again. No, it says, oh, we're safe. Everything's okay. And I've seen people change so dramatically. I've met a person in healthcare while I was walking my dog. 2 more minutes? Okay. I met this person walking my dog, and she stopped me and to ask, what is your dog? What kind of dog is this? The woman's wearing scrubs. We're at the beach. You're wearing scrubs. And I walked over to her and I told her what the dog is. And she reaches down and pets the dog. And she stood up and she bowed her head and she said, we lost someone today. And I understand instantly. She just came from work. Her husband was there, standing by the car, letting her be. I understood that she was in a very bad state. I could tell by her demeanor, the way that she stood, the look in her eyes. I said, I understand. Would you like to let go of some of that pain that you're experiencing right now? She said, yeah. He said, sit down. Let's go. And we sat down. Now my dog said, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Came up next to her, leaned up against her and said, this is my spot right here. Scratch me, please. And I showed her how to do the Hypnotic Touch. And we're going through the process. Next thing I know, she's stroking the dog. I use my arm here. And she's just reaching down and stroking the dog. The dog is saying, oh, yeah. She loves that job. Yeah. And within 10 minutes, I looked in that woman's eyes. I could see an angel. And she had a smile on her face. And her life changed. Now imagine that, having being somebody in healthcare and dealing with that kind of situation, day in and day out. And the idea of it's bad enough when somebody comes in with a trauma, but to lose someone. And we deal with things all the time. We interact with people in hypnosis. You can use Hypnotic Touch for your own self-healing. After you're done with the session, do you want to carry that on to your next patient? No. Spend a few minutes and take care of yourself. Whether you feel like a need for it or not, just give yourself some loving. Pretty easy. I think my time is up here. And just to let you know, I created a program for exactly this. For courses, there are these introductory sessions that I do. I have a program that I created. It's a $27 program. On this piece of paper, I have a code that gets you a $27 discount. So what does it cost you? It costs you a lot. It costs you time and your energy and what you want to get out of it. But of course, we know the benefit from that. And the benefit far outweighs the cost, does it not? All right. Thank you so much. If you want one of these, they're on the table here. I only have a few copies. So if you want to leave me your card and I can email one of these to you, you're welcome to take one. If you know somebody that's in need, pass on a copy. This is my gift to everyone, is I want them to know how to use Hypnotic Touch. I also do sessions when you're dealing with something that is deep. when you're dealing with something complex, something that you struggle with, you can reach out to someone such as me. I am a certified havening practitioner, and I'm here to support you and help you. Thank you so much for letting me.